Today we're re-releasing the review on the CZ P-10C. We recorded this a few months ago and it had a ton of views and a ton of likes, but there was a lot of filler words that we needed to edit out. So without further ado, please enjoy the new review of the CZ P-10C. The CZ P-10C. I'm gonna buy one of these. That's 10 yards. Welcome everybody back to the Concealed Carry channel. Got another exciting review and unboxing for you today with the CZ P-10C. Before we jump into this review, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, smash on those buttons right now if you can, and comment something awesome below. Want to give a big thank you to our friends over at Northwest Armory. They have been doing an incredible job getting guns in our hands so that way we can get down to the range, really dissect these things, and get you the information that you need so you can make a well-educated decision on whether or not this gun is going to be a good gun for you to spend your money on. Go to nwarmory.com if you want to order a gun. They will ship it to your local FFL. If you happen to go into the store, tell them that Grant McLean over at the Concealed Carry channel sent you in. Give Khaki a couple pets. He's such a good doggy, and you'll be ready to go. Let's go ahead and jump into the unboxing of the CZ P-10C. I do like the box. It almost looks like it's a leather, the way that they've done the polymer on there. It's really cool. And then with the gold kind of little clasps on there, it's got a little classy look to it. First thing you're going to find on top is a little lock there, so we're going to toss that to the side. And hiding underneath that is the CZ P-10C. Alright, good looking gun. Yes, I like that. We're going to find the firearm there. We're going to jump into that here in a second. Let's finish up with what's in the box. We have two 15-round metal mags. And we have a set of back straps. So you got two extra back straps in the box. And I thought that this was really cool, but check this out. You have a snap cap. And you have two Allen keys for your optics, for your front and rear sight. So that's pretty cool. So you got a little, I've never seen a company actually put in a little snap cap in the package. That's awesome. CZ, great job. You're going to have your little cleaning brush and your cleaning rod there. And we also have your manual, which is printed quite nicely, I must say. Let's go ahead and push this box to the side and talk about this gun. We have the CZ P-10C. This is a compact frame gun, chambered in 9mm. The magazines are going to be a 15+1 capacity there. The height on this is 5.2 inches. The length on this guy here is 7.3 inches, and the width is 1 1/4 inches. The weight on this empty is going to be 1 pound 10 ounces, and the barrel length on this is 4 inches. The sale price on this guy, or the MSRP, is $479.99. If you're looking for, say, a Glock 19, this, I would say, is a good alternative to that. Or if you're maybe looking for a P320 compact, this might be a good alternative to that. On its own, this is a very good pistol, though. I only mentioned the P320 and the Glock 19 because they're overall, I think, more popular than this. People are going into gun stores, they're looking for Glocks, they're looking for SIGs. And I think sometimes they think of CZ as either the Scorpion or the Shadow. And they have this wonderful gem here, the CZ C, which I think also needs some recognition as well. Let's go ahead and jump into our findings of this, using this at the range. So we did our usual thing where we do 3, 5, 7, and 10 yards. And what we're doing is we're doing 5 shots in 2 seconds. And on this target, you'll see here, these squares here are 1-inch squares. So at 3 yards, 5 shots, 2 seconds, we have about a 1.5-inch group on that. Pretty good. With the 5 yards, we did have a little bit of a flyer there, but outside of that, 3 shots landed in this small section here and 1 over here. So with that, you know, we had about another 1.5, but then we take this guy into account, and we had a 1, 2, about 2.5-inch group there. The 7 yards, tighten that group back up again. So we're looking at about let's call it a 2-inch group there. And at 10 yards, this is a really good group right there. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's call it a 4-inch group, very conservatively. A 4-inch group, that's more like a 3.5-inch group at 10 yards. I shot this gun better than I may have actually shot the P-320 compact and the Glock 19 as far as this drill goes. I'd have to look back at the footage, but I'm pretty sure that I did actually shoot this better. We'll start at the top here and kind of go through our findings and the features and benefits and some of the, pros and cons that we found with this, starting at the top here with the sights, okay? So the sights on this, they're going to be your usual 3-dot sight. There is, I wouldn't say anything too special about these sights. They're not tritium, they're not glow in the dark, they aren't night sights. They're just a standard 3-dot sight. The rear sight is a dovetail, and so is the front sight, but not from the side, but from the front. Now, inside the box with the gun, you get 2 Allen keys, and one fits the rear sight and one fits the front. So there is some slight adjustment there, but also you could certainly take those out and replace them with tritium or fiber optic sights if you chose to. But overall, I mean, I'm very used to the sights, 3-dot sights, and these were, easy to find, very familiar with them. Obviously, I'm happy with my results there as far as the 3, 5, 7, 10 yard drill, and have no complaints as far as that goes. Now, let's go down to the slide here. Now, the slide has awesome machining. It is a little sharp on this top edge, I must say, but it is really easy to get a hold of. The gun that I probably have the most in my hands from CZ is going to be the Shadow 2. And one of the things that I don't like about it is that the slide is so small, and I understand why, but it can be difficult to find those front and rear serrations on that slide. These ones are very easy to find, very easy to manipulate. I like them very much. And the weight on the spring is nothing too much different than what you would find on other compacts like the P-320 and the Glock 19. So it's easy to manipulate, and I think most people with the right purchase on the pistol and also knowing how to rack that slide could easily rack this slide, really, no matter who you are. The machining looks really good where they put in the CZ P-10C, so that insignia there looks really good. The rear plate, nothing too crazy about that. Reminds me of a Glock, very much so. Nothing crazy there. So other than that, I mean, it's one of those guns that it's cool. It has some cool serrations and some cool styling, but overall, there's nothing too crazy about it. I mean, you remember, you are in the $400 and probably $50 to $500 range, 450-ish, when they're on sale or you find a good deal on one. 500, it's $479 MSRP, so you can't expect something too stylish, and if it is too stylish in that price point, I would throw up a big red flag because, they're trying too hard to get you to buy the gun, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about the safety real quick. The safety on this gun is like many guns. It is a trigger safety here. There's not anything too special about that safety. So, you know, simply put your finger on the trigger, depress the safety, kind of lever in the middle, and now you can pull the trigger. So pretty simple as far as that goes. While we're, you know, talking about the trigger safety, let's talk about this trigger. Now, I do like this trigger quite a bit, actually, and you can see here, I'll move the safety out of the way, it's a very slightly curved trigger, and there are some small serrations in the side of that trigger to give your finger a little extra grip. And so I do like that. It has a nice crisp break, a shorter reset than you'd find on, say, like a Glock. What I'll do is I'll grab my Glock here and show you. But I do like that trigger. I like the way that it feels, and it's quite consistent as well. So we'll go ahead and show you here that trigger pull and trigger break. So go ahead and press down that safety, and what we're going to do, so you got your take up there, and then break, and your reset is actually pretty short, just like that. So I do really like the reset on this. Audible, you can definitely feel it. I'm a fan. I like it. And I like the feel. I'm used to flat triggers, and this is right in between that curved trigger and a flat trigger, so I do really like that. We'll go ahead and grab this Glock here, and I'll show you. So you can definitely see how the trigger is much more curved there. And we got our take up here, break, and you'll see in feeling it, there is a lot more to the reset with this. So I do like this trigger on the CZ better than the Glock. A little bit different when comparing it to, say, the SIG here. There is no, obviously, trigger safety as far as that goes. And the reset on, actually, I would say this is a little more, it's more comparable to the SIG. However, the SIG does not have the travel before it breaks. It doesn't have as much take up like this does, like the CZ P-10. So that's a quick comparison on the triggers to, you know, a couple other guns that are going to be in this class with it. So trigger, I'm a fan of. I do like the safety. Again, the SIG doesn't have a safety other than the internal safeties for dropping it. So this is, in my opinion, better than nothing. All right, so let's talk about the mag release here. So the mag release, you can switch it over to the right side of the gun. It's on the left side right now. I do like this mag release because it has some really slight checkering, and it is metal. You can get a nice, you know, nice grip on that mag release. You do have to push it down pretty hard comparative to like the Smith & Wesson. It's about the same kind of feeling as the SIG. The Glock is plastic, so it's hard to compare it there, but it's a little bit more like the SIG as far as depressing that and manipulating that mag release. Mags come out efficiently, very smooth. I do like that. I do have to change my grip placement a little bit. So if I'm in my, you know, I'm in my firing position, you'll see here my thumb does not quite reach that safety. So time and practice, it's nothing too abnormal for me to have to really stretch that out, and it's going to pull my trigger finger back a little bit to where it can't really manipulate that trigger to get a nice positive purchase on that mag release. The mag release, though, functions well, feels good. Overall, I do like it. However, I do have the medium-sized hands. I don't have very long fingers. So for me, that is kind of an issue as far as that goes, but it's not a issue that I'm unfamiliar with. I pretty much have to do that with all my other guns, minus this guy here, the Mossberg MC2C. That one had like the magical mag release in the perfect spot, and I did a video on that, so, you know, if you want to see the review on that, again, another great in-depth review. Good to check that out if that's another one that you've been considering. Good mag release. The grip. Now, the grip is going to come with 2 back straps in the box, so you got 3 total. It is a polymer grip. It does have these little squares, and you know, I know that I'm kind of comparing this to the Glock a lot, but you know, in all honesty, I mean, look at the two. You know, if you look at them, they both have these little squares on the grip. The difference is these squares on the back and the front strap stick out further. They're much more aggressive than what you're going to find on the Glock. I would almost say that they're maybe a little too aggressive. You know, if you push this gun, if you're really driving it forward, you can really feel them on, you know, the back of your hand and your fingers. So if you're really pushing this gun, and this is, you know, this is me just gripping it here without even firing a shot, where this gun is going to really be moving. My hands are going to get sweaty. You know, they're, in my opinion, maybe a little aggressive. However, the angle of the grip, the feel of the grip is, in my opinion, you know, especially with this, you know, nice undercut here and that beaver tail coming out, other than that, the grip is a fantastic shape. I have no issues getting the mag out. It's not getting caught on the bottom of my hand or anything like that. I do like it quite a bit. So I would, you know, just caution you if this is something that is really going to bug you. And of course, get the gun in your hands, you know, feel it. See what I mean when you go to the gun store. You know, as I say, the feel of the wheel seals the deal. So you're going to know if it's a good fit for you or not. But that was one thing that I didn't care for so much. It does have that nice thumb indent there to get your thumb in nice and comfortable. And then it does have some of that same grip up here on the middle of the frame there in front of that slide kind of release. And so that way on your support hand, you can get your thumb right up there too. So I do like that. I like the design of the grip. I like the shape of the grip. It's just the rear and the front straps are a little aggressive for me, but for you, could be a different story. So one of those things, go get the gun in your hand, right? Let's talk about the ergonomics and the controls here real quick. Let's talk about this slide lock release lever. I do really like it. It's ambidextrous, as you can see, and it's big. I really do like that. You know, if you are locking back the slide, it's very easy to move your thumb up and get a grip on that. It's not as easy to release the slide. There we are. Because there's not a whole lot to it on the top here, and the part that is on the top there doesn't really have any grip. It's just a ledge, and it is sharp too. You probably can't see it from here, but there's actually a line in my thumb from when I just pushed that down. So there's, you know, not a lot to it as far as releasing that slide. But at the same time, this is something that if you're used to slingshotting the gun, not a big deal. So if you've practiced that, it's not a big deal by any means. Outside of that, you know, with the way that they design this, you know, talking about the ergonomics of carrying it. So you can see here the back of the slide and where it meets the frame is a nice line. They made that a nice curve downward. There's nothing like hanging off the back of it like you might see with a Glock, and this one doesn't have the extended beaver tail on it. And also the SIG too. So there isn't any of that really going on there, which is kind of nice because, you know, that might be the difference of it printing or not, right? They've taken the top down here on these lines. These lines look really good. They've kind of taken the front down and made it more curved in the front, just like you will see, you know, in your Glock 19s, Gen 5s. But they did a good job overall as far as the fit and finish and the ergonomics of actually carrying the gun itself. You know, the 15-round mag fits nice and flush in there. I do appreciate all that they've put into it. So it looks good, feels good, and yeah. Let's talk about some of the aftermarket stuff you can get on there. They already include the Allen keys to be able to remove the front and rear sight, so I almost kind of feel that you're either going to adjust them. They know you're going to either adjust them or you're going to replace them. It does have that rail in the front, which is, of course, very similar to the Glock rail. So you're going to be able to get lights, lasers, and all the fun stuff that you'd want. As far as that goes, there's, you could definitely send the frame in to get it stippled if you wanted to. But outside of that, it's pretty well dialed in when it comes to that. So, yeah, lights, lasers, no problem, especially with that Glock style rail. Front and rear sights if you wanted to replace those. It is not cut for an optic, so that is something you will want to consider. If you are planning on putting on a optic, this you will have to send it in to get milled. So that could be a make or break for you. If you're planning on doing that already, you may want to look at a gun that already has a optic cut in it. Overall, my time at the range with this gun and practicing with it has been pretty pleasurable. The recoil on this is quite manageable. As you guys could see from our time at the range, those groups, I'm definitely not going to be sad about that, I mean, 10 yards, that's about a 3.5 inch group right there at 10 yards, 5 shots, 2 seconds. That'll definitely kill some 2-liter bottles, that's for sure. And, I would be very comfortable recommending this gun to any of my friends or family who are, one, wanting to spend around $450 to $500 and not able to find like a P320 or a Glock 19, something that maybe is, first up on their list, but they're just having a hard time finding it. I would say, hey, you know what? You need to take a look at that P-10C. That is a definitely a good gun to take a look at there. Outside of that, I'd love for you to comment if this is something that you have considered buying or you did buy it. I'd love to hear from you. Why did you consider it? Did you buy it? Did you not? If you did buy it, what was the thing that pushed you over the edge? How many rounds do you have through it? How's it holding up so far? And I'd love to hear from you on that. And definitely hit that like, hit the subscribe. Helps out the channel immensely. And if you do need a gun, our biggest supporter of the channel is Northwest Armory. They're fantastic. And you can go to nwarmory.com and you can order your gun and your accessories, and they are shipping to your local FFL. They're shipping all the FFLs all over the US. So if you do need a gun, just jump onto their website and order it, and they'll get it sent out to you. If you do pop into the store, make sure to tell them that Grant McLean over at the Concealed Carry channel said, hey, go in here, and they're going to make sure to take care of you. And, maybe you'll stumble into Khaki. He's such a good boy running around the store. And give him lots of love. You guys, I'm really thankful that you popped on today because this was a really cool review for me because, I had not gotten one of these CZ P-10Cs in my hand. Like I said earlier, majority of the CZs I've had in my hands are going to be the Shadows. So this was a fun, exciting review for me. Especially I learned a lot, being that, hey, you can't find one of these. You can't find a P320 as well. This is to learn that this is going to be a great alternative for those was very pleasurable for me. So anyways, you guys, make sure to hit that subscribe, share the channel with your friends and family and other concealed carry gun enthusiasts because we have some more great reviews coming out and I'm super excited to share them with you, all right? So we'll see you next time. Oh, no way. This is cool. That's cool. Shot the shit out of this gun, though. This thing shoots great. What am I doing? Got really hot in here, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, it's a little warm.
I'm like sweating. Can you hand me a towel, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. CZ P-10C Take 1000. Conceal. Okay. What am I talking about here? Ergonomics. Am I talking about ergonomics or am I talking about controls? What am I talking about here? Seriously. What do I do? What are you doing back there? Just dancing around? You twerking? Was that a twerk? I'm going to get a camera for the bloopers. This is what I have to put up with when I try to film these things. The studio is just out of hand.